How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to the Seattle Kraken franchise mode, episode number 35, closing in on the end as we get into the 2029 off-season. In the last one, for the second time in as many years, we lost in Game 7 of Round 2, this time to the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games, as they went on to lose in 7 to the Blues, who lost in 7 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was a tough heartbreak. We had a great 5-game series as we just steamrolled through the Dallas Stars pretty much. We're crazy things offensively, as Jacob Chychrun scored 16 points in 12 games, McKinnon 15 and 12, Beniers point per game, Tuck was great, Marco was great, 37-year-old Vladimir Tarasenko was great. Late season acquisition, Tomas Hertl was amazing. It was really good. Peyton Wilm was pretty okay, 909 save percentage, 2.59 goals against average. That's what we're trying to figure out with Peyton Wilm. Is he going to be an elite goalie? Is he going to be an okay goalie? His numbers have started to stagnate a little bit in that type of 909, 910 save percentage area. But we'll see that heading into future episodes. For now, we're in the offseason, taking on the draft and then the contract, resign phase, all that good stuff. As we're trying to figure out the main thing here in this franchise mode right now in the year 2029, heading into our 9th season, is are we going to be able to continue to build and progress internally, or are we going to be looking at outside sources? All expiring right now. We have guys like Ethan Bear, Vitaly Popov, Sprong, Hertl, Kobasu. All the guys are expiring deals. We know Hertl and Sprong are probably not coming back, but now the question is, do they get replaced by other people in the lineup, or do we look outwardly? Do we look into free agency? We look into trades, things like that. That'll be what we try and tackle this offseason, as we'll also see some of the offseason growth headed into next season, the 2029-30 preseason. But we definitely want to keep Ethan Bear around. He's been an alternate captain for a while now. He's been a Seattle Kraken for a long time. We acquired his rights from the Carolina Hurricanes. He has now played 6 seasons with us. Sometimes more offensive, sometimes more defensive. Solid plus minus through and through. He has 3 Stanley Cup rings as well. He's been really good for us throughout every playoff run pretty much. He's always been solid enough. First pair, second pair. So I'd like to offer him a contract. I would like to have him renewed. He is a UFA, so I'd like to get that done right away here. He wants 7.7 for 4 years. I'd prefer to try and go on a 3-year deal where he's asking for 7.6. 85% of that would be 6.475. So 3 years at 6.475 for a top 4 defenseman who is 85, 86 overall, who is a big part of our team. And although it sounds like a lot comparatively, he's not asking for that much. If he went to free agency, he'd be asking for 7-8+ million. So 3 years at 6.475 is not a horrible deal. I know in 2022 it might sound like it, but in 2029 with inflation and everything, the salary cap, for goodness sake, is 102.7 million. It's not a bad contract. So 3 years, 6.475. We'll see what he says to that. Popov, I'm going to qualify him. I'm going to wait a little bit. He's asking for a bit too much when it comes to longer term. I'd like to sign him for maybe 4, 5, 6 years. He's asking for too much right now, so we're going to take care of that later on. Sprong and Hertl, we can trade their rights. Kobasu, I'm going to try and just force him into the NHL. We have to get this guy to play. He is too good to play in the minors anymore, so 2 years at 0.95. I'm going to see if he likes that. Maintains his RFA status. If we have to trade Riker Evans, we will, but I really want to get him re-signed. Those are a couple guys I just want to take care of right away, but the rest we can figure out after the draft. Now, speaking of decisions like that, heading into the YouTube comments from the last one, Vinny says, for contract suggestions, I would definitely re-sign Bear. That's what we did. But keep in mind, we have defensive prospects in the system that need time in the NHL. So in that case, I would release Riker Evans, unless you plan to keep him as a 7th D-man, and put a tight leash around David Jiricek because of his growth. Other than that, I would also test Pasi Lume, one of our forwards. He's an 83 overall centerman, but he has 68 faceoffs in the preseason to see if he would fit as a center rather than a winger. But he has good potential, but unfortunately the 68 faceoff stat is what kills his chances. P.S. Congrats on graduating. Thank you very much, Vinny. I appreciate that. And all the other comments congratulating me on the graduation from university. Thank you, everybody, for those kind words. I appreciate them very much. Moving next to Ed's comment, who says, Hertl and Sprong should definitely go. They're old. Their overall goes down. No problem. Jiricek shows no progress. I think it's time to say goodbye to him. Try to find a defensive free agent replacement. So we'll see. If there's a real guy who stands out to us for the right price in free agency, that could be the right move. If not, we might just wait and see how his growth goes over the off season. If he stays at an 82 overall, I think we have to move him. I don't know. Maybe also trade Riker Evans. We have lots of players who can be top 6D or 7th D-man. Resign Popov, Kobasu, Rayala, Heiskanen. Lume should be third line center if Popov is going to second, but Popov has, he's shown some bad discipline at times. If he continues to take penalties as much as he has in the past seasons, I'd prefer him to be replaced. We'll see what happens there. Rayala and Tikhonov, prospects in our system. We'll get to the, if you're watching for one of the first times, you don't know these names, we'll get to them once the game allows us to go to the edits line screen. We can't do that right now. Rayala and Tikhonov are ready for debuting in the NHL. Don't leave them in the minors. We still have a solid core in the top 6 forwards. Lots of players with good potential for the bottom 6. Pay attention to the defense. And in the draft, take more wingers because we have enough good centers. Thank you for that, Ed. And last comment from Gen Z McKenzie. Put Lume on the third line. Seems to be the consensus. Tikhonov on the 4th. And Kobasu somewhere in the NHL. Also, suggestion for the next franchise, New Jersey Devils. Okay, we'll keep that in mind as we're getting closer to deciding our next franchise mode with a couple seasons left here in Seattle. Maybe this next season's the last one. Maybe we go to 10 years. We'll see what happens pretty much. But with all that in mind, we have the ideas of the re-signing. We'll see who fits where once there's off-season growth. We'll see who's around in free agency. We'll have some money to play with. But first and foremost, we got to get into the draft. On the draft board, we do have our own first-round pick with 2 second-round picks and then a bunch of other later ones, as we have a 3rd, 3 4ths, 2 5ths, and a 6th. A lot of medium top 6 forwards. I don't know if it's going to be worth trading up or not. We'll see what comes our way, and we'll get this draft underway. Surprises often happen in the draft, so we'll see what comes our way. So let's rock and roll and get into this draft. We'll see if anyone wants to trade their picks as per usual, but I doubt any of them really do. Maybe yeah. So usually sometimes the lottery winning teams do, but no one in the top 3, no one in the top 10. No, so only the 13th overall pick is the first one that is on the block. First 12 picks wouldn't even be available to us. We pick at pick number 27. If we did move up to 13, I think all the interesting people would be gone by then. After that, pretty much everyone's a medium top 6 forward. Let's say we do move up to 13. It would maybe be a guy who's 1 bar medium elite. Can't risk that. And after that, medium top 4D, medium top 6 forward. And these guys are just as far away as everybody else. 2 years away, 2 years away. Yeah, not really worth it to move up, I don't believe. But now the question is, should we move up from 27 to 25, something like that? If we were to try and get a guy like maybe, I don't know, Ronnie Witka, 3 years away. 3 years away. All these guys are pretty 3 years. I'm sure they're all like 65, 64, 63 overall, all in that range. Yuri Kvasha. Also, same thing, Theo Fleury, 3 years away. So I think we'll just go ahead and go to our pick. We'll see what happens at 27. It might be this guy, Alavara, at Tony Alavara, 18 years of age. Maybe Brian Brunette, but not really seeing any reason for us to really want to trade up. What we can do at the moment, though, is trade the rights to Thomas Hertl and Daniel Sprong to see what kind of return they would get. I'll offer them together if anyone's interested in that. No one can afford those cap hits. Can anyone take on the contract of Daniel Sprong? At $7.5 million cap hit, they can. There's a few teams here. We get John Klingberg, the rights to John Klingberg. I'm going to look into that. 2 7ths from Edmonton, 2 7ths from Florida. Yeah, I'll probably go with the Florida trade. 2 7ths from Florida. But let me see John Klingberg. John Klingberg, expiring deal. He's 36, 81 overall, 27-point season last year. Of course, offensive defenseman. Might fit deep pairing too. Has some X factors. I'm a big John Klingberg fan. Just that's tough for the blue line. That's really tough for the blue line because we're already trying to probably move out Riker Evans for Braden Kobasu. And if I moved out David Jiricek, it would be to bring in someone bigger than John Klingberg, who's out of his prime in the year 2029. So that's really tempting, but it doesn't, the timing's not right for us. So I'm going to trade Sprong to Florida for the 2 7ths. We signed him on a 1-year contract, trying to get a run at the Cup. He was going to be a second-line winger for us. Kind of played second/third line. In the playoffs, played a lot of fourth line. Didn't really work out. So we'll see if he signs with Florida, but either way, we got a 7th this year and a 7th next year from the Panthers. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you, Mr. Sprong. Thomas Hertl, he's getting a bit older. I don't think we really have the space for him. It's nothing personal. It's just all about the space. He was a temporary guy for us, but now that we have other prospects growing, It's just that I'd rather give them the ice time, especially he'll be dropping in overall as he gets on in age. I'll go to Tampa. Yeah, we'll go seventh, 2 7s from Tampa Bay now. I don't want to trade him to Toronto because we have such a history with the Maple Leafs. But we'll go to the Lightning. 7th this year, 7th next year. So we get 2 7s from both Florida teams. Tomas Hertl, thank you for your short time here in Seattle. It was very much appreciated. We got some more 7th round picks. Maybe use them for trade bait for another move up for a 6th round pick or something like that. But regardless, here we are now at pick number 27. The first overall pick was that guy Prince, I believe. Yes, 84 overall, medium elite power forward, Jesse Prince. Already a second-line forward, 53 goals, 60 assists in the U.S. system, I believe. 5-star shooting, just a classic EA-generated prospect. Very, very good. Second overall, Trainer, Kenny Trainer, 83 overall, 39 goals and 74 assists, a playmaker. Second overall, 17 years of age. That's pretty crazy. Medium elite sniper to the Red Wings. Medium elite power forward to the Rangers. Yikes. High top 6, 64 overall to Vegas. And then an 81 overall medium elite to Pittsburgh. Yikes. That one hurts. 80 overall medium top 6 forward Threlfall going to the Sharks. That would have been an interesting pick. 17 years of age. Oh, that would have been a nice pick. But none of those teams wanted to trade their picks. It would have cost us a lot to move up, and we just don't have the value for it. Medium top 6s. There's some decent overalls actually going there in this first round. And then we get into the 60s. Yeah, pretty much everyone's 65, 64 over here. Alavara, Kvasha going there to Columbus and Arizona respectively. So now pick number 27. Oh, hold on. Bennett Nichols, who Central Scouting had at 23, has dropped to 27. Our scouts had him at 27. Might be the right time. 66 penalty minutes? Is that what upsetting people? I don't know. Brian Brunette, let's see. C- rated league. Similar stats. A+ rated league here for Reimer playing Liga. He is a power forward. 4 goals, 3 assists. Also 3 years away, similar to Owen Nolan. 18 years of age. Are they all 18? Yeah, they are. But Nichols being ranked 22, then 23 is what's tempting me. But our scouts have Reimer rated at 21. And that's guaranteed 4 bars. Our scouts say Reimer 21 and Nichols 27. So what's better? Taking the guy who Central Scouting has at 23 at 27? Or taking the guy who our scouts have at 21 at 27? I think it's going to be Reimer. I think it is. That's very tempting to take Nichols there, but I like that he played it well in an A+ competition. His shooting is already A. You know what? He's probably a wonky prospect with really good shooting. He's a power forward. Nichols is a two-way forward. He looks more well-rounded, the classic 65 overall kind of guy. You know what? Let's go for it here. Let's go for Reimer. We'll take the Norwegian winger who played in the Liga and go ahead and select him with the 27th overall selection in the 2029 NHL entry draft. Welcome to Seattle, Bello. 65 overall, medium top 6. Let's see those attributes. And he has, okay, normal. 3-star shooting, a normal, solid power forward. Got 6 foot. Hopefully he plays well. Sometimes you have power forwards who have, they stagnate at that 2-star physical, but should be an average enough prospect as all these other guys are. Nothing crazy compared to them. I wouldn't think. Better shooting than hold on. Whoa, we jumped all the way to the top because of course it's glitched. Yeah, better shooting than Alavara. Better shooting than Kvasha as well. So yeah, I'm happy with Reimer. He's a normal prospect, no problem there. Okay, so next pick is going to be at pick number 52. Now the question is, do we make any trades between 28 and 52? Nichols is going to go next. We'll see what he ends up being. There are definitely some interesting prospects. A few medium top 9s, medium top 6Ds. Skip over all of those. There is a 3-bar medium elite Fred Greiba, winger similar to Joe Thornton, 3 years away, a playmaker to boot. We already have a sniper on the wing. Maybe we pass on the sniper. Greiba's interesting at 3 bars medium elite. That's only if he really is medium elite. If he ends up being top 6, it's going to be a bit of a waste. There's some other medium top 6s. It wouldn't be much of a trade to go up from 52. We have this guy Eriksson, Jorgen Eriksson, offensive defenseman similar to Alex Pietrangelo. That's also tempting as a guaranteed medium top 4D. Then after that, there would probably be some low top 6 forwards. Let's start simming towards like pick 40 or something. Let's go to pick 40 and then we'll pick it up from there. All right, here at pick 40 now, the Bruins do want to trade that pick. Going back to the first round, I want to see Nichols after our selection. He ended up being 64 overall, medium top 6, two-way forward, going to Toronto Maple Leafs. Uh, Pretty average, not excelling anywhere in particular, so I'm happy with our selection there. Krog, medium top 9. Selleck was medium top 6. Brunette, also medium top 6. Okay, yeah. Then some medium top 9s creeping in. Yikes. Yeah, not liking a lot of those selections for a lot of the teams here. Pick number 40 now. We pick at 52, so 12 picks until we're going to be up. Is Greiba really going to be medium elite? Part of me, from my experience, just says I don't think so. It's possible, but I don't think so. But then the question is, do we take pick 52? A lot of top 60s. You know what? I'm not gonna take 52 and get these medium top 60s. I'm going to trade up to try and get Eriksson. Let's try and trade for pick like 46 or something to get Eriksson as the top 4 offensive defenseman, because our defense is packed right now, but with like Sloan getting traded out, with Evans getting traded out likely, and Kobasu taking his spot, now in the AHL, quickly our system pretty much becomes Kalle Lundberg and 1 or 2 other guys. So I wouldn't mind just one more solid defensive prospect if some are moving out. We stayed away the last couple of years because there were just too many. So 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. The Capitals don't want to trade their pick, so I guess we'll have to go to 45 and take the Canadiens pick. I'll give you 52, and then I'll throw in some of those picks that we picked up in the Hurdle trade and all that. I'll give you 220. Can I give you 224 and 216? Actually, much. Do I need that much to move up just a few picks here? Let me see. Quite far off in value. Okay. Toss in 224. Still quite far off. Come on. What are you saying? I'm only trading up a few picks here. All right, move up to a 5th there. 155 and 52 for 45. We aren't. It's quite close to fair value, but we're not that interested. So okay, there's your 5th. And I'll toss in one of the 7s. There we go. A 5th and a 7th. There we go. Trade accepted. Merci, Monsieur Hughes. Kent Hughes. Going to pick 45 now. Let's see what happened between these picks. Medium top 60, medium top 4, blah, blah, blah. So at pick 45 now, we could take Greiba, but something's telling me I don't think this guy's going to be medium elite. If he's just another medium top 6 forward, it wouldn't make sense to take him. I think I'm going to go for Jorgen Eriksson, the Swedish offensive defenseman. They make solid D-men over in Sweden. He's going to be 3 years away, so it's not anything that's going to be pushing our system too quickly right now. Similar to Alex Pietrangelo, I like it, medium top 4D. Those Vince Sloan vibes who never came to be, maybe he can be the one. Let's do it. Jorgen, welcome! He's 62 overall, medium top 4. I like it. I keep saying Jurgen, thinking of the prospect we have in the Atlanta NHL 07 series, but Jorgen, not Jurgen. Jorgen. So hopefully he can continue to develop. We're not looking for anything crazy right now for a 2nd round pick. That is okay. Now going to pick number 59. Let's see what Greiba was. Are we going to regret this one? Greiba was medium top 6. Something inside of good old GM data told him the truth. There you go. Playmaker, nothing more special than anybody else. Medium top 6 forwards, top 9, top 6. Yikes, some more yikes selections. Some low top 4Ds. So I think we'll get a low top 6 forward or a low top 4D here at 59. Actually, I think we'll go for Gaspard Castonguay, someone that we had spoken about already from Chicoutimi. He is 17 years of age. I like the age. I like the A- shooting already. 3 years away. He's very passionate. He's driven to win. I like it. Great name as well. Love the French name. Kovalev would be tempting as another low top 6 forward, even Hendricks. But Gaspard is going to be the guy. Bienvenue à l'équipe, mon ami. Gaspard Castonguay. Avec le 59e sélection, 64 overall, low top 6 forward. I like it. 2.5-star shooting, okay. He's a sniper to boot. Okay, not bad. 6'3" as well. He's a big boy. Next is pick number 91. Anything up between 60 and 91. Some more low top 6 forwards, low top 4D, medium starter. Not seeing anybody with elite potential that I'd really want to trade up for. Other just good prospects. There is a 3-bar medium league goalie, but there's going to be other goalies later on. Medium starter. Low top 6 forward Eminger, who's a gem. He might be interesting in the early 90s because we don't pick until 91. So you know what? At 91 we should be able to get Eminger. Let's go to 91 and see, and yes, so that was a lucky gamble there. There's that medium elite goalie, 60 overall. So we'll make our selection here at pick number 91. Is he waiting right on our doorstep? Yes, he is. All right. So Cooper Eminger from Switzerland. Back-to-back Swissmen are going to go here. He is a gem, low top 6 guaranteed, 18 years of age, 3 years away. Not a wonky prospect. Very nice. Cooper, throw a shout out to Interstellar for anyone who knows. If you know, you absolutely know. Low top 6 forward, 63 overall. I like it. I like it. I'm going to take that. Hopefully the gem means that he will develop nicely. Next pick is at 116. I don't think there's anybody between now and then. That low top 4D is there, the other Swiss player. But not anything else that I'm really seeing. So I think we'll just go ahead and sim to our pick. Medium bottom 6s, low top 9s. All right, 116 now. Let's make our selection. The scouts have come through. Look at this. Medium top 4D on our doorstep. Nothing to say. Eric Garcia from Denmark. Okay, no questions asked. He's 19 years of age. Okay, but I'll take him for the potential. He's 4 years away with skating. Who knows if this guy makes the NHL in like 5, 6, 7, 8 years? Who knows? This will be a good story to look back on. But Eric Garcia, welcome to Seattle. 58 overall, medium top 4D. Defensive defenseman with 1-star skating, 66 balance, doesn't even know how to lace up the skates, but that's okay because he will be an NHL player someday. Mark my words. Pick 122 now, just going slightly ahead. Some 7th Ds, low top 9s, yikes. 122, anyone gonna surprise us here? Not seeing anybody. We could go for this guy, Janes. 3-bar medium elite goalie. Are there any other good goalies that we might want to take in this draft? Guaranteed elite gem later on. Yeah, so I won't take a goalie right now. And aside from that, maybe it's just we take this guy now? What's our next pick after 122? That would be the question. Maybe we trade down to like 134. And then I take that goalie and I pick up a pick for next season's draft. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Actually, no, we have back-to-back fourth-round picks here. So here's what we'll do. So here's what I'm thinking from Vegas. I'll give them my 2 fourth-round picks, 122 and 123. In exchange, they give me 131. With that pick, I draft the player I would have taken anyways. But on top of it, I take a 4th and a 7th back next year. What do you say to this? Bit low for us. I'll just take the 4th then. Throw in a 4th. Perfect. So basically, I just turned a pick that I would have used anyways on a player into a 4th next season because the other one I didn't like anybody who was around here anyways. So simming to pick 131 now. Full disclosure, I'll tell you something in just a moment after we use this pick. I am reaching a little bit because I didn't want him to be gone, and there he is. Medium elite gem. Jeffrey Drieger, perhaps distantly related to Chris Drieger, former goalie in our system. 19 years of age, 5 years away. Probably not a high overall, but gem and good potential. So let's see what we got. Probably a 52 overall. Medium elite, very happy to have him in the system. Now, full disclosure, I stepped away from the PlayStation for a little while to go watch Leafs and Lightning in the playoffs in the real world. And because I'm gone for too long, things, sleep mode, blah, 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 I had to restart the draft. I went through the entire draft like 6, 7 times because I kept simulating up to the pick of Castonguay and he kept getting taken 1 pick before, stuff like that. So I had to end up changing a few things where I traded up for pick 57 instead of pick 59. I'm not even sure where I'm looking, but for Castonguay, for Eminger, it was still number 91. But for Castonguay, I had to trade up for 57 instead of 59. Eriksson was still good. Castonguay, I had to go for pick 25 in the second round instead of pick 27. I had to do that. It also changes the reality of, different teams selected different players. I'm not sure how different it really is. If, the guy that was selected 13th now went 14th. So I apologize for that, but I didn't really have a choice. It was, I would never get that exact permutation back. So whatever you saw at the beginning, take it with a grain of salt that some of those selections may have changed slightly. I know it's not a big deal, but I just wanted to put full disclosure out there because I never want to restart things to make it look like I'm trying to get better picks or whatever. So if you notice, Castonguay drafted at 57 instead of 59. That is the reason why. All the other trades were still the same. Hurdle, Sprong, the trade with Montreal, all that was still exactly the same. Garcia, I had to trade up a couple picks as well to get him. But all that being said, we can simulate up to pick number 148 now after taking Drieger. That was like a 45-minute process. That just jumped ahead for you instantly, but not always the case behind the scenes. Pick 148. Hey, there it is. Hey, there's a little gift for me. Thank you. Bill Thorne, low elite two-way D from the Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL. A good Seattle boy. Welcome to the Kraken. Doesn't have to move too far. 54 overall, low elite. Thank you very much. Now, between 149 and 180, whatever, do we have any other low elite type guys that we'd like to go for? There is a 3-bar low top 4D, 2-bar low elite. I'd want someone a bit more of a lock, medium top 9, 2-bar low top 4D. No one really speaking to me here, so we'll just go ahead and simulate up to our next pick at 187. Not seeing anything too special here, so that's a good sign. It is a medium class, nothing too wild going on. Let's sort by potential now, see if anybody pops up. 2-bar medium elite, or if there's a 3-bar, not guaranteed, but a 3-bar low elite, a couple of 3-bar low elites. Let's go for the winger. We need more of those in this draft, as that earlier comment said. 17-year-old Tony Haino from the SHL, a Finnish winger, 17 years of age, and low elite, 51 overall. Okay, thank you very much. I like that. And we'll finish it off with pick number 216. That was the one from Florida, I believe. We could go 2-bar low elite here. Another right-wing sniper. 2-bar medium elite. We have enough goalies in the system. I'll go for the 3-bar low elite, actually. Javon Montoya, 17-year-old. And he is low top 6 grinder. All right. So not a bad draft in the end. It took a long time to get things right. Again, I apologize. I hate that. Like, for example, I'm not sure if Prince still went first overall. I'm not sure if the guy who went fourth still went fourth. But, it wasn't meant to be. That reality was, Doctor Strange in the multiverse. That's what it was. Don't be afraid. Okay, so now we can sim to the Resign Phase, advancing a day. We'll see Ethan Bear. We have expiring contracts for Giordano and Bartley, so we'll try to get them re-signed. Giordano, a couple of Jack Adams under his belt. He is now our associate coach, but now his contract's up. He might want to be a head coach. And a lot of our scouts lose it. I'll have to take care of that. Contracts, blah, blah, blah. Ethan Bear, easy decision to renew the contract. Thank you very much. So that's a huge piece in terms of the leadership core of our team. Very happy. And Kobasu, 2 years for him as well. Good to get those guys out of the way. I'm going to take care of the coaches and the scouts. We'll be back on the contract screen in just a second. All right, so the coaches and the scouts, we'll wait to see what they say on that. We've got to play the games with the coaches where I'm going to assign Giordano as the head coach, then demote him to the associate coach, re-promote our head coach back to head coach, blah, 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 musical chairs. But getting to all expiring, we have $15.625 million to play with. Popov, does he still want the same type of deal? No, he'll take 4 years, 6.35 per. So if we go, I was thinking 6-ish years, but maybe 5 is better because the difference is 300,000. For 6 years, we could get him at 5.825, but for 5 years, we can get him for 5.6 around. So 5.6 for 5 or 5.85 for 6. And with inflation and everything, immediately potential, maybe he'll grow. I think I'm inclined to go for 6. It is a bargain based on what he was asking for earlier. So let's try not to be greedy. Let's go for the 6 years. We'll go 5.8225. So this is just barely 85%. 6 years, $5.825 million per season. A $35 million contract for a guy who hasn't proven himself too much, but ready to say, hey, we want to see you longer term. I think this is a good contract. Then he gets his big last deal. I think this is fair for everybody. So let's see what Popov thinks about that. The rest of the guys down here, I'm going to try to send a deal to Heiskanen. I'm going to try to send one to Rayala. I just got to fill up the AHL pretty much with the rest of these names. Some of them will stay, some of them will walk. I don't think I need to tell you too much about most of these guys. Burrows, I will sign him to his entry-level deal. He was a second-round pick in 2027, has the X factors, up to a 73 overall, low elite potential. Looking at the unsigned players in our system. Obergauer, a few other guys down the list there. So I'll take care of those rookies. A lot of them will fill up the AHL in this next season. Goaltending is set. All right, so let me take a second or two to send out some deals. All right, so advancing a day now. Next year's AHL team's going to have a lot of rookies in it. So Dream of Mine, blah, blah, these are all the prospects. Rejected. I want to test free agency. Well, buddy, you're an RFA, so you're not testing anything. It's an honor. It's an honor. It's a dream. Fantastic. So a lot of the UFA guys getting signed on. I'll see how much space I have for some of these other guys. Heiskanen, I'm going to have to let him walk, unfortunately. He wants $1.5 million. He wants a one-way deal. He's like a fringe 13th forward. We can get someone in free agency for less, maybe even him later on once his demand goes down. But as a sniper, I'd prefer a more defensive guy on the fourth line. He's been a part of our system since our very first season. He came over, he was a draft pick by the Capitals. We traded for him. He spent 5 years in the AHL before finally cracking some NHL minutes. 9 points, 2 goals in 49 games. It's just not worth the $1.3 million or whatever. So, Vesa Heiskanen, it's been an honor. We're going to have to let you walk. We wish you all the best. Maybe we'll cross paths again. I'll take care of the rest of the UFAs myself. Popov, I'll try going up just a little bit in what he's asking for, but if not, I'm going to qualify him, and we'll take care of that. Advancing a day once more here. I'm not entirely thrilled with the role you've offered me. I know you offered me head coach, but I really want to be the president of hockey operations. What are you saying? After mulling it over, I accept. Great. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, all the scouts are going to come back now as well. Matthew Phillips rejects our deal. He was our selection from the Calgary Flames in the expansion draft. I tried to keep him on the team just, to be a good guy and everything. He wants to test free agency as a 77 overall. He will not get signed. We gave him a max 2-way deal, wants more money, not going to happen. Matthew Phillips, it's been fun. It's been a great ride, but you're going to have to walk. Rempe's back. Popov rejects again. We'll just qualify him. And that's pretty much it for the contracts here. So qualify Popov. We'll take care of him on July 1st. UFAs, Phillips, we let him walk. RFAs, all of those are qualified. Unsigned, none of those guys are going to make the team. I don't think. We'll see. Wait and see if anything happens. And that is all for the contracts. Now back to the coaching screen. Giordano signs back on as associate coach, even though I hired him as head coach, but whatever. Now, Bartley, will he stay as our assistant coach? I'll hire him, in quotation marks, as our head coach, but will he actually come back as head coach, or will he, I don't know, I got to demote, play musical chairs and everything. We don't even have the budget for him, technically, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. A couple of other coaches in the AHL, our goalie coach, people retired, so we'll have to fill up some coaching spots on July 1st as well. Yeah, Bartley, gonna sign the contract, but you don't have enough budget to sign me. So you know what? You might just have to accept reality that we can't have an A+ head coach, an A associate coach, and an A- assistant coach. Bartley can go out into the world and be a head coach of his own. So Bartley, I'm gonna let Bartley walk. Morrissey, congrats, got re-promoted back to NHL head coach. Giordano is associate, that's very nice, but we're going to get a new assistant, a new goalie coach, a new AHL coaching staff pretty much entirely for next season. But Bartley, we will let him walk, unfortunately. We've had him for a few years now, quite a while. He's a fantastic coach, A+ influence, A+ penalty kill. It would be fantastic to keep him, but I guess it's honest, it's unrealistic to have an A- assistant coach. Already an associate coach is pushing it, but that guy could be a coach of his own. So he will walk here on July 1st as we continue to simulate towards the beginning of free agency. And Bartley not renewed. Unfortunate. Tears falling down my cheeks. We got to be a 5th-year contract. Yeah, that's no problem. And here we are now on July 1st. There we go. So I'm going to take a moment to look into the scouting, to look into the coaching, any of those new positions that we may be able to hire. But the number one thing we want to do right off the bat is give Popov his contract. Now the clock has struck 12 on July 1st. He magically wants to listen to us. So he actually wants even less than before. So you know what? I'm not going to scam the system. I was going to do 6 years at 5.850. I can get him for even cheaper now. So I'm not going to scam the system though. 6 years, even just a little less because, he was a bit disrespectful. He said, I want to test free agency. Okay, all right. 6 years at 5.750 for Vitaly Popov. That'll be the contract offer that we send to him. Looking at all expiring now, some guys who will need to think about next year. Asher Maloney is going to be up. He's going to want $3-4 million more. Pasi Lume is going to be up on his ELC. He'll want $2-3 million more. Yurchek making 4.3. He'll want 6. He better have growth over this offseason from an 82 overall. We'll see for guys like Riker Evans, everybody else, for who grows and who actually makes the lineup. That'll be once the offseason workouts are all said and done. Looking at free agency, just out of curiosity here, how much money do we have to play with? We have 15.625 minus, Vitaly Popov. We have about 10 million. So just in UFAs who are in free agency here, Dougie Hamilton, a lot of RFAs, a lot of really good RFAs. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at some of those names. Klimchuk franchise, but they'll be signed for sure. UFAs, Hamilton, Dahlin, Denisenko, Panarin at 37 years of age, Bowen Byram, Eriksson Ek, Johnny Gaudreau. All the way down the list we go. Sprong went to free agency in the end, now asking for 5.4. Hurdle went to free agency, only wants 2.2. Really tempting, but he's an 83 now. He'll be probably an 82, 81 by the time season begins. It doesn't work. And Delkovich, 86 overall, he's a free agent. Anyone who has potential that we can look at signing as a prospect here. Suglobov, a name that we know well on this channel. Sergei Suglobov, a third-round pick, two-way D, medium elite. Throw him in the AHL? Question mark? He wants a one-way deal. We have the money. He would take 2 years. Can we go? Hold on. 2 years, two-way, max deal? Question mark again. Let's see what he says to that. Why not? Maybe he'll say no. Worst case, we don't need another D. Best case, hey, helps the blue line and maybe he actually grows. Worst case, again, if he signs, he becomes a trade piece. The rest of these guys, low elite, low elite. This guy's 24, Tutin, Ivan Tutin. Didn't we have him at one point on this team? No, we had Curry. We had Curry on the team, yeah. But I don't think I'll sign any of these guys. We maybe 72 overall. Jaden Barch, he's a sniper. Centerman, 73 faceoffs. No. Gotta have some self-control here. We're gonna pass. But the medium top sixes are interesting. Eli Manning, I remember him in the draft. Scott making some good comments about him in the Discord server. A power forward with 4-star shooting, medium top six potential. He could be a great first liner in the AHL. Yeah, but he wants that one-way deal. He could be a fourth liner, though. You know what? We have the money to take a flyer. We can go 2 years. He stays as an RFA. Let me go 2 years, 1 million. Let's just see what happens for fun. 2 years, 1 million, just for kicks. Heiskanen's out there. Some other players. No, I think that's just about it. 23-year-old probably. Mahalik. Owen Mahalik, power forward with wonky stats, scored 24 goals. 56 penalty minutes, negative 19. Really weird stats. It's not for me. I'm going to pass on him. 2376, Lacroix. Louis Lacroix doesn't get better than that. A grinder. But nah, these guys all want 1.2 million. They all want one-way deals. No. 2276, Gustavo Giordano. That's pretty interesting. Gustavo. 27 goals, 88 penalty minutes, though. We have our own guys. I can't keep getting all these people that we don't need. I can only take so many per offseason. I'm going to try and have some self-control here. I'm going to check out the hire staff screen, see if we can hire some coaches and or scouts, and then we'll advance into the offseason. All right, so I looked into some coaches. Scouts for like I think the third straight year, no new scouts who are better than the scouts that we have in our own system. So I don't know if the game's not generating them anymore or what, but nothing new in the scouting department. We can continue to simulate in the calendar now, as I don't feel the role you've offered me is appropriate. I'm not interested in the job title. He wanted to be the assistant. I wanted him to be the assistant coach. He wants to be an associate coach, I guess. So maybe I can play musical chairs with this guy, Declan Lau. I'll touch upon that in a moment. Maxim Sadikov signs on as our AHL associate coach. He's very happy. The Leafs want to give us Pesci, a 4th and a 5th for Williams and Eminger. I will pass on that. I'm going to send out that guy another contract, try to get him signed on and play musical chairs. See what he says to that. Advancing on. Our sources tell me your staff chemistry is excellent, so I'm hopeful I can join the staff with little drama. I gladly accept Mikko Timonen, our new goalie coach in the NHL. Another deal from the Devils. I'll pass on that. Continuing to advance. Eli Manning rejects. He does not want... Oh, the duration. I thought it was the two-way. Yeah, you've chosen to make some changes there. So I'll look back at Eli Manning. Sergei Suglobov is extremely happy to accept your offer. All right. Welcome to the team. Not too shabby. I'll see if Eli Manning's interested in a different type of deal. He really wants the 1 year. So let me try, I'll go 1 year, one way, 1 mil. Let's see what happens. 1 year, one way, 1 mil. 79 overall, medium top six, 23 years of age, good stats, power forward in the bottom six as opposed to sniper where Vesa Heiskanen was. May not be a bad idea. I'm going to reject your offer. You haven't offered me as many years as I am looking for. Buddy, I offered you 8 years. What more can I do for you? The keys to my house, the deed, my mortgage, what do you want? Popov, I decided to accept your offer. Look forward to making an impact on the team. That's great. Thank you very much. But come on, I'll play with the years and try to get this guy. But now with Popov signed on, we have $10.8 million of salary cap space. That's very, very nice to have. Forwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold on in the system if we use Rayala. So we might want to look at signing a fourth liner because of our first lines McKinnon, Marco, and Tuck. Second line Beniers, Popov, and Moss. Third line Maloney, Tarasenko, Lume. Fourth line could be Bergenheim, Tikhonov, and maybe Manning if he signs on. But I prefer Manning to be 13th forward, maybe someone like an 80 overall for that fourth line. Let me just do a little bit of research. Someone who's listed as a depth forward, knows that their depth, is not asking for crazy money like Noel Gunler here. Rasmus Asplund as a two-way forward is speaking to me a little bit. Three-star defense, meh. Mathieu Joseph, perhaps. Jason Dickinson, not bad. I'm looking for someone who's just strong enough defensively. Sonny Milano, how's his defense? I need someone who's just I can trust a little bit. Teddy Bluger, this guy's experienced. This guy's 34 years of age now, 85 defensive awareness. Two-way forward, but good puck skills, solid enough shooting, good offensive awareness. The type of guy that we probably have on this team. You know, I like Teddy Bluger as a nice veteran presence there. I was also looking at Graham Clark, but 65 shot blocking, stuff like that is a bit just, I don't know if it's a killer, but it's just, I don't like it that much. The only problem with Bluger is that he's already 34 years of age, 80 overall. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops even more before the start of next season. So I might want someone closer to like a Raphael Lavoie who's 28. But still, I need those defensive stats to be trustworthy. Jack Quinn out here with his medium top 6 potential. 99 stick checking. What? Jack Quinn? Okay. This guy Gushin, Daniil Gushin, he has 91 stick checking, 3-star defense, 4.5-star shooting, and is a two-way forward with 5-star physical, despite being 5'11". A lot of decent names out here. There's no one who's I want a two-way forward who's not older than maybe 32, who's an 80 or an 81 overall, and has respectable defensive attributes. JT Compher has top 6 potential. So maybe, you know what, JT Compher could be good, because even if he drops, at least his top 6 potential will keep it. He should still be an 80 at the start of the season. If he was a top 9, that might be risky. But if he's top 6, maybe he drops the top 9, maintains the 80 overall. It's really a guessing game here in the offseason. That's the tough part. Luosterainen, he would also be good, actually, but he's a centerman. I'm looking for a winger because Tikhonov would be my center. Plus, he's listed as a third liner. Ryan Poehling could play wing, but he wants crazy money for some unknown reason. But I think I'll try it out with JT Compher. Worst case, he's just a 13th forward. It's going to be between him and Manning if he signs on. So I'm going to try to go 1 year at 1.150 for JT Compher, and we'll see if he likes it. Keep on simulating now. And who knows, maybe we have great growth from some random prospect over the offseason. It's just insurance. It's really just insurance. Eli Manning ends up rejecting that deal, not offered the dollars he feels that he's deserved. So I'll look back into that one more time because I'd really actually like to have him on board now that I think about having the depth flexibility. His demands come down to 1 year, 1.15. So I'm going to give him exactly what he's looking for. And JT Compher just signed on. That was great. I clicked advance too quickly. My apologies. But JT Compher is on board here in Seattle. I don't really like the makeup of your roster, but I guess I'll do what I can. Okay, buddy. These coaches, man, the pompous attitude, I don't get it. They think they're in the King's Court or something. Lau, welcome to the team, buddy. First thing I got for you in your mailbox, demotion. Giordano back to the actual NHL associate coach, and Lau becomes our NHL assistant coach. Timonen, our goalie coach. All right, his morale is low, so he's the first to get fired if something's going wrong. But the rest of the staff's okay. Head coach, associate coach, AHL coaching, not as concerned with that. So coaching staff's taken care of. Thank you very much. Just waiting to see what Manning has to say before we simulate towards next season. Manning, extremely happy to accept your offer. Fantastic. Welcome aboard. Great to have a Super Bowl winner on the team. Last thing to do before we advance to next season is set up the draft class and prospect quality by pulling out the number randomizer. So remember, we're going to randomize a number between 1 and 100. We're going to have 1 to 30 be a low draft class quality or low generated prospect quality. 31 to 69 is going to be medium, and 70 to 100 is going to be high. So when I randomize on the trusty old computer here, 1 to 100, I get 86. Okay, so high. For the first time in a long time, next year's draft class quality will be a high, a strong draft class. All right, and then for generated prospect quality, hitting generate, it'll be 39. So that means it'll be medium. So high draft class quality, medium generated prospect quality. It will be a pretty good draft. All right, all that is now finished. We can sim to next season, see who had some growth, get an idea of what our lines will be like headed into 2029-30. Nitamaki's on board with a qualifying offer, and then we can make some decisions headed into next episode. Okay, so headed into 2029-30, year number 9, here's how the potential lines are shaping up. First line, Tuck, McKinnon, Marco. Second line, Benier is now up to a 90 overall, so maybe he's pushing for first line. I don't know, but he has a great second line fit. Popov at center, Chris Moss on the wing, +5 for the chemistry. Third line, Vladimir Tarasenko, 37, going on 38. Pasi Lume at center, still, he has 64 faceoffs. I don't know, I gotta put him on the wing maybe. And then Asher Maloney, 84 overall playmaker. He has 76 faceoffs. He'd be better in the middle than Lume. Fourth line, Manning, who has a perfect fourth line fit, which is very nice. Tikhonov, who's now grown to a 79. He was a draft pick from the Flyers. We got him in a package. I don't know who we traded there. Was it in the Ryan Pulock deal? I forget, but we traded someone to the Flyers for Tikhonov and a first. And Tikhonov was like a 60-some overall. Now in 2 years, he's grown already to a power forward force. But 73 faceoffs, 5-star physical, 4-star shooting. That's great. 73 faceoffs. Rickard Bergenheim has grown to an 82 overall. He wants third line minutes. He has 78 faceoffs. So my question is, does Bergenheim actually become our third line center instead, and then Lume either plays fourth line or just gets traded because there's no room for him on this team? That's my question for the forwards. On defense, Chikrin Barrett dropping to an 84 overall, which is very surprising actually. If I put Yurchek, whatever. Yurchek still an 82 overall. The guy is medium elite. He's played 400 games in the NHL, 100 points. In his entire career, he averages over 21 minutes a night. Last year, 23-19 a night. Has never been higher than an 83, and he's stuck at an 82 right now. So I'm inclined to think about trading him. I don't know. He gets points. He has good plus minus. Maybe I'm just overreacting, but that's what I'm thinking. How much stock do you put in performance and how much in overall? Braden Kobasu is now up to an 81 overall. He's definitely going to be in the NHL this year. 91 shot blocking, 91 stick checking. He's ready to go. Third pair, Kozlov, another guy, stuck at 80 overall. We drafted him as an 80 overall. He's played 318 games in the NHL, and he's still an 80 overall. It does not make sense. However, he's coming off a career high plus 22, career high in ice time of 19.5 minutes a night. Can I really justify trading Kozlov? I don't think so. It's just frustrating to see no growth. Tiny Morrison, again, medium elite, 79 overall. He's never been higher. He's had 2 full seasons in the NHL. In those 2 seasons, both years, he's playing he's like 14.5 to 14.40 a night. Respectable ice time, special teams. I'm trying everything, and this guy's not growing. I can't give him first pair minutes. I'm giving him second pair, third pair, power play, penalty kill. No growth from Morrison, Kozlov, or Yurchek. Very frustrating. When do we cut bait? What happened? I don't know. But there's the defense. Goaltending, Peyton Wilm grew back to an 88. Malik still at an 82. Scratched Rolison, Caleb Rolison, second round pick in 2026. Hello, surprise. He's now an 80 overall, low elite. He's listed as a top 6 defenseman, so more defensive logjam. JT Compher, 13th forward as an 80 overall. And that's assuming that Riker Evans gets traded. Suglobov grew to an 80 overall. He's listed as a top 6 D-man. That's crazy. Kalle Lundberg is just never going to make the NHL, I suppose, at this point. 78 overall. Karttinen's a 77. Forwards in the AHL. Rayala's going to be first-line center. There's Piper. There's Burrows. And goaltending, Hilpert's a 78, Kelly's a 76, young guys with good potential, a few scratches right there as well with good potential, so maybe I'll try and get them into the lineup, but just to say, Logjam is the word. So our questions heading into next episode will be what kind of line combinations we want to see for the preseason and what will mean what. If we give Lume, let's say, top 6 minutes, do we need to see at least 4 points in 8 games? What are the things that you want to see in the preseason that will make you decide whether or not a player is sticking on this team or whether they will actually be trade bait? Guys like Lume, Jiricek, they're on the potential outs right now. Here are the trade values of some players if you're curious about how trade values shape up. Not a lot of value despite having such a good team. It's pretty surprising. Draft pick situation next year, we have first, second, third, all that good stuff. So don't need to concern yourself with that too much. Let's check out the trade blocks around the NHL quickly as we close off this episode, sorting by overall and looking at the contract status. If there's anyone you want to know more about, leave a comment on YouTube or Discord, and I'll do more research for you. Prospects on the Ducks, Coyotes, Bruins, Sabres, Flames have Dubé, Gru, Fagemo, Reese all there. Jameson Reese, former Seattle Kraken. He's looking good. 1 year left for Dylan Dubé, which is an interesting one. Two-way forward. Don't know much about where he'd fit, but there he is there. Carolina Hurricanes, nobody. Blackhawks, they have Kirby Dach's 7-year contract on the block. Christian Vesalainen, 4-year contract. Very little trade value. He's a sniper. What has he done in the NHL? Average year, oh my goodness, last 2 years have not been pretty, but I don't know, on Winnipeg he was okay. Chicago, I don't know what's happened in Chicago. He has 12 points in 21 games, but I don't know, is he like a project, a resurrection challenge? I don't know if that is what you call it, but I don't know, maybe we do some research on him. Alexander Nylander expiring deal. Sprong signed a 2-year deal there. Julien Gauthier, Jonathan Drouin, Seth Jones, Stetcher Lindell, Ryan Murray, all guys on 1-year deals. So tantalizing names over on Chicago. Colorado, some 80 overalls. Columbus, prospects. Dallas, Heinola, and some prospects. Larkin on a 6-year deal. Radish, Goncalves, Bennett, Lavoie, some names there on Detroit. Edmonton, nobody. Florida, prospects. Kings, Pulak. There, so Pulak went to the Kings. I don't know if he found his way there. He's on an expiring deal now. Matthew Robertson also there. Minnesota Wild, Petrovic, prospects. Dinger, an RFA. Rudolph Dinger. I believe he just won the Calder Trophy. He's an RFA, unsigned with the Canadiens right now. 4-star shooting, 4.5-star. Not sure if he would really fit anywhere for us, but being disrespected. We have a history of saving disrespected players. He's on the block in Montreal. Question, I don't know. Prospects from the Predators. Bowen Byram, 1 year from the Devils. 1 year Zaka, 1 year McLeod, and so same for Tierney. I don't know. Interesting. Looking at big defensive names, maybe Bowen Byram's one of those guys if we're looking to trade Jiricek. It's only a 1-year contract. He's 28, and he usually puts up nothing crazy for the numbers. I don't know if you want a more offensive guy, maybe. I think that would help the blue line. Someone who can score a little bit more, because we've always been a more defensive blue line. Dahlin signed a 5-year deal with the Rangers, and he's automatically on the block. Kravtsov, Anderson, Butcher, Lindholm, Zibanejad, a few names in New York. Ottawa, prospects, Flyers, nobody. Penguins, Brandon Carlo, 4 years left at 7.9, 86 overall, and Sammy Nico. I don't think we can take either of those contracts. San Jose Sharks, Ryan Merkley, 3 years at 11.4. Yannick Gouli, Wilson, Lindblom down the list. St. Louis Blues, prospects, Lightning, prospects, Maple Leafs, Greenway, 3 years left. Sandin, Rasmus Sandin, $6 million is not unreasonable. It's usually in the 30-ish points. Down year last year. Wouldn't fit the scheme. That's 3 bars uncovered. Morgan Riley, 3 years left. Too expensive for his age. Pesci, also for his age. Nylander on the block. Steele on the block. A lot of big names in Toronto. Vancouver, Podkolzin, Comtois, Dubois, and Jones. All with multiple years, though, aside from Jones. Vegas has Morrissey, 80 overall, 6.2 million. Yikes. Capitals prospects, Jets, Neil Pionk, 77-34, making $7.5 million. So there are the blocks around the NHL. If you have any suggestions on some of the potential names around the NHL, if any of those names are speaking to you, perhaps I don't know, maybe if I just give a quick player search as well, if you're curious about names around the NHL, just looking at defensemen. Let's say minimum 85 overall. All the defensemen in the NHL who are at least 85 overall. 37 defensemen, sorting by overall as well, and going from bottom to top. And looking at their contract status as well. So I'm not going to name too many names here. Darnell Nurse is a bit older. Noah Hannafin, 32 years of age on a good deal. Here are some 86 overalls down the list. Pretty expensive, but like a guy like, I don't know, Luke Hughes, Jamie Drysdale, perhaps 3 years left at 6.4. That's a good value deal. Perhaps Jamie Drysdale fits the penalty kill lines, maybe. He scores, what, 40-ish point? Yeah, 30, 40-point type seasons. He's an offensive defenseman, though. Maybe being in our scheme would be helpful. Lambos, 2 years left here. Chikrin, that's our guy. Travis Dermott coming off the Norris Trophy. 9.6 for Owen Power. Jake Sanderson, 1 year left on a really good deal, but a lot of trade value on that. And then the trade value gets a little too high after that. But there were a few interesting names down here who are making decent money. I'm okay with taking on a bigger contract, just I wouldn't be able to take double digits, stuff like that. Marchman, this guy, low elite, 86 overall, 7th round pick. This is a guy who had 32 fights last season, or 37 fights last season. That's funny. Moritz Seider, Rasmus Anderson. So there are some defensemen around the NHL. Once again, if any of those names speak to you. If we're going to make a trade, is it before the preseason, after the preseason? Riker Evans, probably a guy who has to go regardless, but that's a lot for all of you assistant GMs to figure out. That's why they pay you the big bucks. So be sure to leave your thoughts on all of this down in the YouTube comments or over on the Discord server, link in the description. I'll be sure to send out the scouts and take care of all the other administrative things. Free agency, like we said, we saw Rudolph Dinger still out here. Other guys, Crombean, Hadfield, Foodie, but those are some RFAs, just the UFAs. Hadfield, Losterainen, Foodie, Bolkvist. Pretty solid names out there. So also keep those in mind if things aren't going well in the bottom 6 / on the 4th line. If you enjoyed the offseason, be sure to leave a like headed into our 9th season here in Seattle. Be sure to subscribe as well so you don't miss any uploads here in this series, as well as our FIFA 22 series, our NHL 07 series, and lots of playoff talk, some data casts coming back in full force now as we're doing analysis, predictions, and things like that, breakdowns on the real-life NHL postseason here in 2022. If you didn't already watch my predictions and breakdown of the first round, as well as my creation of the bracket, or the NHL 22 simulation of the playoffs, those are a couple of recent videos. You'll definitely want to look at those, both really fun ones. But I'll go ahead and wrap up there. Lots of decisions headed into this next season. The lineup is strong, but the logjam is always there. We've lost out on some prospects over the years from just how packed it's been. Some guys, maybe if you love them, you got to let them go. So I'm looking forward to reading all the things you have to say on this team. Thank you so much for taking the time to do so. I appreciate you watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again in the next one.